Welcome to my winter arc series. The way you're balancing, let's not even talk about it. So I thought we'd talk through my weekly food shop, a few new bits. This bowl from Sainsbury's, yes please. If you haven't watched my other videos, we know the obsession with the parsnips. 3 bags normally does me for the week, to be fair. And then sweet potatoes is normally my carb source for 2 of my meals. Hold on. I was in the gym today and I literally felt the difference of the extra food, because I think sometimes when you're bulking especially, it can feel like monotonous, but I actually felt literally amazing. Right, frozen green beans, frozen Brussels sprouts, squash because I can't have enough squash. This chocolate from Lidl, thank me later, thank me later. I love this one. This one's really good. I like thick chocolate. Okay, I don't know if anyone understands, like I like thick chocolate. Kale, peppers, and smoked paprika because we're running low. Smaller shop today actually, to be fair. I am going to put this away and then we're going to sit down and we're going to have a little chat. Right, so I got this package and I'm definitely not going to show you my address. And I had a brand reach out to me and they wanted to send me some PR. So I said, this is the first time I've ever accepted PR, and it was actually quite interesting for me. It is all shoe wear. And if anyone knows, when we're in the gym, it's something that is just really important. So it comes in a really nice shoe bag, and the brand is Sicurido. So I'm going to open the bag, right, if I can. A bit awkward, isn't it, when you can't open the bag? I picked the white ones. They did let me pick. And do you know what? I'm thinking that these might either be really good training shoes or cardio shoes. So I'm going to trial them in the gym and I'm going to see how I get on with them. But I am really excited. They're an off-white colour and they are really comfortable. And obviously when you are training, you do want to wear kind of, especially legs, flatter shoes. So I'm going to wear these on upper body day first just to break them in. I do think that they are really comfortable and I'm really interested to see how they get on, if they're cardio shoes, if they're weightlifting shoes, and then obviously I will report back. But I'm really excited, and the brand is Sicurido, and it says on the bag, keep unrestrained, unlimited, unafraid, unremitted, I'm dyslexic, unburdened, uncomplicated, unheavy. So I am really excited. I'm really, really excited to see how they, you know, are on and how they perform. So I will report back and I'm excited to see how these are. And thank you so much for sending me these. I will definitely be on the hunt and on the report. I do kind of like the minimal design, to be fair. So yeah. I have been way too excited to film this. Way too excited. Oh, what's happened here? That should be a bit better. Instead of just trying to wear extra large bottoms that are not mine, I thought I'd get my own. Now, we all know I love a Knits France or a wide leg jogger, or, to be fair, anything that's wide leg. That's why I wear my Honor Active ones so often. So, upon my discovery of my little sister, she had some Harrys. So these are Harry joggers from Urban Outfitters. Now, she wore extra. I tried on extra small, but these are extra small. And I am going to see if these, oh yeah, they're lovely. They are lovely. I need to be comfortable. Your girl needs to be comfortable to grow, okay? And part of that is, if I need to buy new clothes, I need to buy new clothes. So I'm gonna go try these on and give you the full verdict. But I'm really happy. I got black, obviously, because black's my comfort colour. But I'm really excited. They have a drawstring at the bottom. I don't know if I would draw it unless it was like raining. But I'm going to go try these on and let you know what I think. Right, so this is the full length mirror, which I'm definitely, listen, there's two things that I need to look for when I buy joggers, right? Number one is that it fits the waist. Number two, that it fits the length, because your girl is 5'7.5". So, you know, I don't want something that's going to be too short. But you know what? These fit perfectly. They're exactly where I'd wear them. And also, they're not too excessively long. And I'm also worried if I get small, they might not fit. But these are the Harry's. And you know what? I love the silhouette of it. I do really like them. So I know that they're really hard to come by online, but if you need something comfortable and big, then these are definitely, and I like the thick waistband. Can you see that? Can you see that? I know this is going to be dreadful lighting, but I thought as soon as I've just come out of the shower, I would talk through my favourite beauty bits, because you know what, when I like watching a vlog, I like to be nosy. So in the evening, if anyone knows me, it knows that I had really bad acne, like to the point where it was chronic, and I used to have like breakouts all here and here, and this is one of the products that actually changed my life. Paula's Choice 2%. Yeah, do you know what? I use it every day. I know you're not supposed to use it every day, but I use it every day and every night, okay? So this, for me, works absolutely fantastic at night. What else do I use on my skin at night? To be fair, all I use is the little brow cream that my brow technician gives me, because I get my brows laminated, so I have to put that on every night. And then I always use either Garnier or cocoa butter, because they're the two things that I absolutely love. Now, in the daytime, what I just put on, this Bioma Clarifying Serum. If you have not noticed, I actually cannot use anything that's too much for dry skin. So everything I use is acne prone, oily. I don't think I have oily anymore, my facialist says, but I definitely know that the Bioma Clarifying Serum Triceramide Complex, wow, I actually said it in one hit, wow, is fantastic. I don't really use a moisturiser, but if I use a moisturiser, I use the Cetaphil, because I need something that's anti-clogging. And I have been wearing eye cream for the last like 4 years. Since I came off prep, I have an obsession with eye cream. So the eye cream that I'm using at the moment is this Revitalift, I think it's got caffeine in, by L'Oreal. This alone works really well. I always curl my eyelashes because I don't wear any makeup on the day to day. I should be wearing SPF, but I've genuinely not found an SPF that doesn't break me out. Every one that I use seems to break me out. So I am just not comfortable at the moment with an SPF. And I know what you're gonna say, you should be using it. I always use castor oil on my eyebrows. And then I have 2 lip combos that I dabble between. I either use Dr. Paw or my Burt's Bees, either one, depending on the mood, depending on the feeling. And I think that's it, to be fair. I use on a daily basis, obviously deodorant. But when you have a thyroid condition, you should try to avoid aluminium. So there's certain deodorants I just can't use. And I know that disrupts hormonal regulation. Actually, to be fair, while we're in the bathroom, because I don't even know if this will be interesting to anyone, this alone, this from the White Company, the Peony shower gel, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in a spa. I feel like I'm in a spa when I have it. It is definitely my favourite and I'm using it very sparingly. This is my 3rd bottle. Let's just. And then this is my go-to face wash. I have never, well, to this day, I've tried a fair few face washes, but the CeraVe Blemish Control Cleanser, when I was doing my research and I needed a new, well, I used to have this, but anyway, I finished a cleanser that I was using. Then I went on to this one. I promise you, yeah, I probably do a bit too much with my skin, but when you're exercising as much as me, you have to look after your skin. So I use micellar water day and night, with I use this towel, but I have to wash them. So I use one day, and then wash it because I don't wear any makeup. If I wear makeup, the whole thing just goes in the wash. And then I'll use this in the shower twice, which my facialist says I'm probably stripping my skin too much, but at this point we're just trying to avoid the acne. And then I'll go into my skincare. But it's really important for me to look after my skin, because for someone that really struggled with their skin growing up, used to wear makeup every day, could not leave the house without makeup, couldn't do anything, did not feel confident in my own skin. I know for me now, being able to embrace my skin in a way that I've never felt before is so important. And I feel like not a lot of girls speak about it, but there are times when my skin does flare up, and I do have the Inkey List and DB, which are 2 products. I'm just showing you everything while we're in the bathroom. I don't know what possessed me to just start talking about all my skincare, but the Pure Equalizer pH Control. If I see like something coming up, like I had something here and I was like, okay, that's like for the daytime because it's clear, but then when you put it on, it turns white. And then this, if I'm at night, this by the Inkey List, which is called the salicylic acid treatment. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. This at night, but it's green, so I wouldn't really go out. And then sometimes, if my skin's just having a mare, I love a bit of Sudocrem. I swear by Sudocrem. Sudocrem for me just always works. Now I have got a retinol by CeraVe. I used to use the Sunday Riley's Blue Lunar Oil, I think, or Night Oil. That changed the game. It is so expensive, but it changed the game for me and my skin. So I used to have a fixed drug eruption on my skin. That's how I know I'm allergic to paracetamol and ibuprofen, is my skin will hive. And I just couldn't get rid of it. It was like a grey patch, and I had it brought for me, so I trialled it. Sunday Riley itself is just probably one of my favourite brands. I don't actually have any at this moment in time, but Sunday Riley for me is a holy grail. I absolutely love Sunday Riley, and when you exercise as much as I do, you have to look after your skin because you're sweating, you're using... I take a shower after my first session, I take a shower after my second session, I take a shower before I go to bed. So constantly moisturising my skin was something that I really neglected for a very long time. And now I'm like, okay, I do need to moisturise, I do need to do this, I do need to look after my skin in a new way. So it's just something that I've just come to terms with, and all of these products alone, I probably do too much to my skin, but everyone's skin is different. And for myself, I know that I do have problematic skin. So trialing anything new, I know within probably a few days if it works for myself or not. So it's so important for me to make sure that I am continually looking after my skin. And I think that as a girl who really struggled with her confidence growing up, my skin was always something that just took a hit, and I used to have chronic acne all in my cheeks, all down my chin, and then my forehead was okay, but I just did not feel confident. And now to be able to do most days, near enough every day, without makeup, I don't know who I'm trying to impress, like by saying some days, no, I don't wear makeup because I'm in the gym a lot. And personally for me at this moment in time in my life, I don't feel the need to wear it. And that doesn't mean I don't like wearing it when I go out, like, or a wedding. But for me, this is just what works. So I hope that if you're struggling with your skin or know anyone struggling with their skin, maybe you can point them in the direction of some of the products I've shared, and we'll continue rolling with this vlog. Welcome to my winter arc series. Winter can feel heavy with the dark mornings, the cold, the temptation to hibernate. But I want to show you how I'm approaching this season differently and what my winter arc actually means. I am a summer girl through and through. I am born in the summer. I am meant to be in the heat, but I am from the UK and we have dark mornings and we have about 6-7 hours of sunlight, which is shining through now. So I wanted to sit down and explain tips that help me get through the winter months. Tip number 1, make sure that you get your movement in. I know motivation goes down. I know motivation dips in the winter, but it's the discipline which carries you. Even when I don't particularly feel like training, I know that my discipline will carry me through. And I know that I have a job to do. I love to train, and that's what gets me happy, gets my endorphins going, and it's been a way of life for so long. So I keep it simple. I layer up, I show up, and I focus on what needs to be done. I focus on my training. I focus on the intensity. I focus on what needs to be making myself feel the best. So I know that training is an escape for a lot of people, and it is for me. So training for me, especially in the winter, the colder months, really helps me and makes me feel my best. Finding a gym that you're excited to go and see your gym friends, having that little bit of social time, especially if you work at home, going out of your comfort zone, all of that, or joining a gym for the first time, that will really help you get out of these winter slumps and winter months. So I think it's so important that we do focus on what we can do around what we can control as opposed to what we can't control. Tip number 2. Now, I think that for most of my clients, they prefer comfort food. I was on a call with a client yesterday and I was like, what foods do you crave? And she's like, it's colder. I want warmer foods. I want more filling foods. So get experimenting with your foods. For myself, I'm on a meal plan, so I might have a few different vegetables or I might swap a food source out. So if I was having cold oats, I might have hot oats, or if I was having cold cream of rice, I'll have hot cream of rice. But for my clients who are a little bit more exciting than myself, they may have been having a wrap for the lunch, but then I'll swap it out for potatoes or sweet potatoes. So something that is cozy but can make sure that you are getting your nutrition in, picking whole foods, making sure that you're adequately fueling your body, especially for the winter months. Now, it's not common that people in the winter months lack vitamin D. Making sure you get your supplementation in, making sure that you get your sleep in. I see the winter months as a time for a little bit of a reset, but also a hibernation. Summer's all about being active, going out, being social, but winter is really sitting down and reassessing what you want to achieve. And this leads me on to tip number 3, routine and making sure that you have a reset mindset. I think in the winter, we can really have the perfect time to lean into the routines which you've set up or you're going to set up. So the last few months of the year, what can you achieve? What did you set out at the beginning of the year that you still want to achieve? Is it completing a 5K? Is it making sure you're hitting 10,000 steps? Is it making sure that you're drinking your water? Time and time again, I see in the winter months that a lot of people do struggle to drink water. Now, did you know that if you're dehydrated, your skin is going to feel it? So it's so important to make sure that you are getting your water in and that you're adequately hydrating your body. But back to my point before I go on a tangent, making sure that you have a routine that you're excited for. So if you go to the office, what can you do in the hour before you go to the office? Can you get yourself to the gym? Can you do a workout? Can you do a home workout? What can you do after work? Can you make sure that you're putting on some candles, putting on some lights, making sure you're excited about the day? All of these elements are really going to help you get through the winter months. I know that the winter cannot be everyone's favorite time, but ensuring that you have the structure, the discipline around it is so important. I used to be that girl that used to absolutely get seasonal depression, and that was a real thing for myself. But getting out into sunlight, so I know I have 10,000 steps to hit every single day. I try to look at the weather app. I'd like to say it's always right, but it's not. But gauging from outside, looking at the clouds, thinking, when can I get those steps in? When can I go and make sure I'm getting another 1,000 or 2,000 steps in around my lunch breaks, work commitments, but also around the weather? I know in the UK it's extremely wet, so trying to have a semi-flexible structure and schedule to help me get through the winter months, but also getting outside is so important. I know I was lucky enough to grow up opposite a field, so I know the importance of getting out in nature, getting some fresh air, seeing some greenery, seeing some trees. They all make me feel a lot better. Fun fact is I surf. I promise you now, eventually I will live near the ocean and I can just surf. Doesn't matter if it's cold, but depending on where you're living in the world will depend on your routine. Now, I know that certain countries only get an hour of sunlight in the winter, so I know Lumi lights are fantastic uses. So Lumi lights mimic the sunlight, and especially if you rise before the sun rises, like myself, putting on a Lumi lamp would really help, because it does help to mimic that sunrise, and that helps your circadian rhythm because it helps it to wake it up. So utilizing artificial light in the mornings, I listen to a lot of Mr. Huberman, Dr. Huberman, and he's amazing. Utilizing that in the mornings will help your body wake up naturally, but then also when it comes to sleep time, it will help trigger the melatonin, which is a hormone that your body naturally produces to help you fall asleep and relax. So this is the start of my winter arc if you want to see it. If you'd like to see more or you're interested in anything I've said, please leave it in the comments down below. Make sure you give this video a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.